Hi and welcome back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, Knit and Crochet, whose FreeFormKnits Crafting lets the world to design. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for checking me out. And if you're a return viewer, thank you so much for coming back. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. I upload every Tuesdays and Fridays, so there are always new and exciting things to talk about. Any links to anything that I talk about in this video can be found in the description box, as well as links to my Instagram, my Ravelry, my blog, where there are free patterns, all that stuff. So we are Thursday, November 4th, 5th, I don't know. I actually filmed this early in the week, but it was just a mess and not usable. So it's been one of those weeks, but I do have quite a few things to talk about. Well, not too much, but you'll see. So before we get into it, I will talk about what I'm wearing, because it's finally sweater weather. I'm wearing my Unity sweater by Danny Sunshine, I believe. And I made this earlier in the year, and it's a knit out of Yarn Bee ID in the Thistle colorway with, I love this yarn in white for the stars. It's just a really nice circular yoke, long sleeves, and I'm sitting very awkwardly, and I think my head's being cut off, which drives me crazy, so let me push you back. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing, and we'll talk about finished objects. I do have 3 finished objects. Okay, I did some rearranging, so this will hopefully go smoother. With the first finished object, I finally went yarn shopping again to get the yarn I need for this cardigan, and it is the Cafe All That cardigan, and it is done. It's done. Cafe All That cardigan by Hooked on Homemade Happiness. It's finished, and I'm so happy about it. I would put it on, but it's been really cold in the house. I've been running it downstairs, so now I'm warm. So I'm not going to try it on. You'll see it plenty of times in future episodes, I'm sure, because I love it and I will be wearing it so much. So it's a free cardigan pattern on Hooked on Homemade Happiness blog. It is done from side to side. You start at this end, you crochet all the way to the other side, and then you do sleeves and this button band. And can I just say, well, it's not a button band, there are no buttons. Can I just say, I didn't know how to do proper crochet ribbing. Like, I understood how to do it, I just could never do it properly before this project, and I did so much ribbing. I'm now a pro. So here's the cardigan made out of Yarn Bee ID, the Rosewater colorway. I needed 5 skeins, like I think just about 5 skeins for this cardigan on a 6mm hook, which is really good to know because well, the skeins come in 142 grams of yarn, so it's really closer to 600 grams rather than 500, but knowing that it needed 5 skeins of that is really going to help me in future crochet projects, because I always have it in my head that crochet takes up so much more yarn than knitting, but really not so much, just a little bit more. So I love it. It does have pockets, and I modified the pockets. I only did half double crochet for the pockets rather than this eyelet stitch pattern for it, because I thought that would be better. The pockets are meant to be like on the side, which is cool, but maybe I just didn't make mine deep enough. I think this is, like she said, to only do it to the ribbing. But it's kind of not that deep, and like I wouldn't feel comfortable like putting my phone in it because it would probably fall out. So I did think about like tacking down the sides so that it would make it like my hand could still fit, but it would be like this would be closed off, if that makes sense. So yeah, other than that, it's lovely, it fits great, it's long, it's warm, it's so nice. Like, it's a really nice cardigan. I do love it. If you decide to make I highly recommend the pattern if you want to make this cardigan. Like, if you think it's pretty, make it. I highly encourage it. I will say it's done from side to side. I don't think it says that on the pattern. Like, if you watched a couple episodes back where I first started this cardigan, I go into how I didn't know that it was from side to side, but it's done from side to side, so trust the number of stitches she says to chain. And other than that, she doesn't have all that detailed instructions for the sleeves. Like, she just says to pick up multiple stitches rather than how many stitches to pick up. I picked up 54, and then I followed her sleeve instructions exactly. But other than that, other than those little things, and really considering it's a free pattern with like every other thing you need to know about it, and I think it has a wide range of sizes. I think. I don't remember. But if you're interested in the pattern, just have a little patience with it and it'll be worth it, because I really do love this cardigan. And I'm sorry I'm showing it in such a awkward way. Like, you really don't get a good idea of how pretty it is and everything, but it is really nice, and like I said, you will see it in future episodes because I will be wearing it a lot. Okay, that's my first finished object. My second finished object is this pair of socks. These were a work in progress last time. These took forever to finish. I don't know, my knitting, crocheting, crafting motive has just been, it's been scattered. I feel like I'm scattered in my crafting. But these pair of socks are done. These are my Delightful Knit sock pattern, a DK weight sock pattern that you can get in my Ravelry shop. It's got different cuffs, different texture options, and my shortcut heel. I did mine in stockinette. The yarn is Yarn Bee Sweet Delight Prince in the Sprinkles colorway. And they almost match except for a blip in the yarn. Like, there was a little color blip. You can see, like, these don't match up, and then they kind of start to match again, and then that same color repeat blipped again on the toe. But other than that, they're perfectly matching, which I'm fine with, because I honestly didn't expect them to match as perfectly as they do. Like, other than that, something went wrong with the yarn itself. I don't think it was my row gauge, because everything else is perfectly matching. Like, just that orange and pink just switched places in one part of the skein. And did it again for the toe, so that's okay. I don't care. I'm very happy with them. I knit these on a 4 rather than the 5 I usually do for my DK weight socks, because I was using my 5s for something else, for another pair of DK weight socks, which I did start the cuff. That other pair of DK weight socks, I did start the cuff. But other than that, I haven't made any progress on it. But these are done, so that's good. And then finally, I crocheted a hat because, like I said, felt scattered and just wanted to do some mindless crochet. I did this double crochet hat, and I did it actually in a spiral, so there's no seam, no chained seam. You can actually see the spiral there, where I start going around and around. And more ribbing, because I kind of like it. I kind of like the crochet ribbing, at least done in heavier yarn. Otherwise, it would be so slow. But it's kind of the perfect length. It could be slouchy, or I could fold up the brim and have it come over my ears. The yarn, I love this yarn in the turquoise colorway, and just like the rest of a skein I had laying around. And I did this on a 5mm hook. So just a nice quick project, perfect hat. That's that. So as I said, I'm scattered in my crafting. I have technically 2 works. I guess I'll show it. I've been debating whether or not to even show it because I've totally stalled with it. So I started my Annette Sweater it's a free pattern by Hobie Yarns. Hobie website, I don't know. The Annette Sweater. I modified it to do moss stitch like I talked about, and I did a whole sleeve, and I'm on the second sleeve, and I've been on the second sleeve for so long. I'm almost done with it, really. I have, I think, 2 more increases and then some straight knitting before I'm done with it. I actually did cast on the body. I think this is my problem with bottom lip sweaters. Like, while you get the sleeves out of the way, it feels like you're going nowhere, even though you've technically made a lot of progress, especially since this is supposed to be cropped. So I really am far in it, but I don't feel far in it, and it's motivating me not to work on it. That's makes me not motivated to work on it, if that makes any sense. I actually did my ribbing in a smaller needle size, which I never do, mostly because I just wanted to try out these needles. These are Knitter's Pride Bamboo Charm in the 9s. I needed more 9s. So I just picked them up at Hobby Lobby, cheap pair of needles, just to see, because I am always using my 9s. So I wanted to try them out. They're not bad. I like them. Maybe I'll do a review on them if you need some quick needles. But I'm using I Love This yarn in the light gray colorway. And I will say about this sweater pattern, it only has 3 sizes, and like it's not a wide range. And with my gauge, I don't even think I'm getting gauge, so I have no idea what size the sweater is going to be. It might fit, it might not, which is all adding to the fact that I don't want to work on it, but I kind of want the sweater because I think I will like the sweater if it fits and if I ever get it done. So that's that project. just this gray bag. Just not motivated. I don't know. I don't know why. I should be motivated. And then the next work in progress, the only one I will show, because other than I did cast on the next sock for that pink pair of socks I shared, I did the cuff, and I'm in the process of writing the pattern. But again, not motivated. Don't know why. But I did just start this, because when I'm not motivated, do double crochet. That's my motto. I decided, I have this yarn in my stash, this Yarn Bee Sugar Real Cotton Solids in this lovely lilac colorway, and then these two grays, dark gray and light gray, but I'm thinking I'm not going to use them, at least not till the border. My original plan was to get these yarns out of my stash by crocheting a baby blanket, using them up, be done with it, and, you know, get some crafting motivation. But considering how I'm using a 4mm hook, and it's technically a finger weight cotton, so the yarn is going further than I thought. So I think I'm just going to use the purple and then maybe do some single crochet edging with these instead, because of how well the yarn's doing, like how far it's going. Had I known it would go this far, maybe I would have considered pulling a double. That wouldn't have been bad, but I didn't. So I'm making a star blanket because I've wanted to make this for a while. I did a star shape, I made like a star pillow a couple years ago, and I think I used the same pattern. I looked high and low for a pattern like this, for this star shape, and I don't think it's the patterns I found fault that I couldn't accomplish it. I think just reading crochet instructions, crochet patterns, especially when like starting the star, reading the written instructions for it, I couldn't get it. Like, I just couldn't do it. Even if I took it line by line, trying to follow it, I just couldn't picture it. So I ended up watching the tutorial for the Bernat star blanket by the Crochet Crowd, and that's how I got the shape. Like, it was just watch the video. It was like, I think it's a 17-minute video, and you only need, and like part of it's talked about changing colors, and I didn't need to know that. So I just watched the video and it made sense, and I understood and didn't second guess myself. So now it's started, just this nice, lots of double crochet, nice star blanket. So, and it feels really nice. This cotton, really, I love this cotton. I think it's just 100% cotton, right? It's not a blend or anything. Yep, 100% cotton. It feels really nice. I'll make a nice blanket. I think I have 2 skeins of this purple, and I have more of this same brand of yarn, so if it doesn't get as big as I want, I can just stripe. And yeah, that's all. I really, if I've been motivated to craft, that's what I reach for, because that's where I am. And it's in this big bag, which I have to say, talking about my laziness, I just sometimes feel like I don't want to reach and open the bag. Like, what is wrong with me? I think part of it is that I once again ripped apart my craft space. I have to reorganize it because things were scattered about. So I'm planning to do that hopefully today. Organize that a bit better and cast on some projects that will make me happy. It's just been just a lot of stuff and a lot of disorganization, and just feels, I don't know, but I will find things, can make things, craft things, do all sorts of things like that. Hopefully that makes sense. So that concludes this episode, if you can even call it that. It's very short, but hopefully there will be more content next time. More finished objects, more works in progress. Really, I have a lot of works in progress. It's a little frightening how many works in progress I have. It's just, and the amount, how much I don't want to work on them. So I think some things need to be frogged, reevaluated, new things cast on, you know, the works. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble about my crafts. If you could take a moment and comment down below on something you were working on, I would love to hear about it. Also be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and happy crafting!